next, all I did was just kind of did a whole bunch of different angles and eyeball it. So I know that sounds sketchy, but it's the best I got. All right, welcome. This one's going to be kind of a random video. It's just something that I think I was looking at and I want to try myself. Kind of a risk. Really no going back after this. So gonna kind of take my time maybe and look at my options, but I think I'm gonna do a hood vent. I bought this 2 foot by 2 foot piece at Lowe's. It's been sitting around for a while. I would rather not have to cut the vents and stuff like that in the hood and shape it. I'd rather cut the hole out and have something to drop down in and then rivet or something, or maybe with some dress screws. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go for it. So welcome. This is the introduction to that. What I decided to do, I popped the hood. Obviously I found out where my intake, my turbo, all that stuff is, and kind of found out where it ends before it gets to the strut tower, and then where it begins before it starts opening up for all that stuff. So it was right at the corner of this fender, and then it stopped about right up here. So I think I'm kind of pretty much in the ballpark. Set down a towel so that's not on it, and I'm wanting to kind of line it up. So I think it's about what I'm wanting, something like that. I kind of put a little mark here and a mark there, and then did what I could, gradually bringing that line to kind of match this body line on the hood. So got the body line from the hood right here, mirrored over here, and then kind of a little bit of aggressive go there. What I'm wanting to kind of do here also is soften these edges, sorry, and make this a straight hit, kind of mimic the grill right there, kind of carry it out through here. So at this point I drew that. I think that's what I'm wanting, that's what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to basically trace out the vents, and then we'll go from there. All right, now at this point I like the idea. I went ahead and I made me a border. Now keep in mind, when I go to use the cutoff wheel and stuff like that, I'll have a sander. I'll be able to clean up those edges a lot. I'm not really too worried about the lines. They're relatively straight enough to give me a good guidance as I'm using the wheel. The most of the wheel that you have sunk in there, and the longer of the cut that you're using with it, the better your chances are of having straighter lines. And then you pull it up to where you can kind of bend it a little bit. It'll all work out. So I also had this scrap piece of steel. I went ahead and used that for my spacing. So right here I created a border. That's where I'm going to drill my holes and then apply rivets to fit on the hood. I'm also going to make a gasket. We'll get to that. So right now I went ahead and I used this steel, and that's going to be my even spacing all throughout here. Each one of these that you see is going to be a vent. They're going to point down. They're going to go this way. They're going to point down. But when I go to cut, I will cut all along, all up to here, and then leave a little bit on the tops of each one. Then I'll cut along on the sides. Again, I'll leave a little bit right here of metal still clamped on there. That way it's got something to hold it in place when I bend the tabs down. I'm not going to bend them crazy aggressive. From what I'm picturing, it's going to look pretty cool. So, but you do want to leave a little bit of ears on the tops where there's going to be a hinge point going down, so that they obviously stay, or else you're just going to cut them all out. And all the way up to there. I'm going to think about what I'm going to do with that section, but for the most part, that's the idea. So I'm going to get the cutoff wheel and I'm going to go for it. Okay, I used the angle grinder with a cutoff disc. I really hate using that thing. Please be careful when you're using it. Keep your face out of the way. Don't rush it. Don't shove it down and stuff, because the more heat and the more friction that you cause on that disc, this is a sanding disc, the more heat and the more friction you use on a cutting disc, that's when it starts binding. And once it binds, it only knows one thing, and that's when it goes out of whack, snaps, and the slightest tear or the slightest crack on those things, it it only knows one thing, and that's all that rotational force, so it's going to throw the piece, so please be careful. Anyway, I used a Sawzall, or a reciprocating saw, jigsaw, whatever you want to call it, for this bend. I'll definitely clean that up with the sanding, but this is basically the idea that I was talking about. See how there's ears on there? That way they can flip down, and then they'll stay when you bend it. So now that that part's done, before I cut out the whole thing, I don't want to work with less material, if that makes sense. I want to have this whole sheet for stability, because the only thing loose are the fins in the middle. So on the back from the cutoff wheel and stuff like that, you see it's got all that burr. I'm going to go through with my, I can't remember what grit that is. I want to say maybe 120. Maybe it's 80, but I'm pretty sure it's 120. But I'm going to go through with that and sand all that stuff down and smooth it out. Then I'll be back. Okay, we're back again. So put the cutoff wheel back on and did a rough cut. As you could tell, I mean, I'm pretty close on some areas, but the idea wasn't to get right on my line. Again, that wasn't even a perfect line to begin with. So rough cut throughout there. Again, take your time with that. Now I'm going to go through and sand, or use the sanding disc and take all the burr off of the edges over here. And while I'm at it, then I'm going to go ahead and feather this edge right on the side of it, trying to even everything up. After that, we can go ahead and kind of flex our tabs out, sand down in there a little bit, and we should be pretty good for the next step. Okay, I went on through, I cleaned everything up, I drilled all the holes. Not sure if you can see them that well or not. Then after I drilled them, I went back through and I grinded it down again. So this is kind of what we're left with right here. I can bend these tabs out. I kind of want to prevent that right now. Maybe I will. For you guys, it's the next clip, but it's actually been about a week now. I got tied up with some other projects. Here is the vent. Excuse me. Here is the vent. Sprayed it with some bed liner. Got that stuff from Walmart. It's maybe 10 bucks a can. I love the texture on it. It feels smooth, and you feel the texture. Like, I can't explain it, but it's slick. It looks great. I like that kind of gloss, textured, almost matte look that's going to be on the gloss hood. So I think that's going to be awesome. Also, I got some painter's tape. Some the widest I could find there at the store anyway. 1.8 inch, almost 2 inch. And silicone. I got clear silicone. This stuff that says that it window, doors, siding, paintable, weather resistant. So this is kind of where I'm wanting to go. I'm not doing this for a purpose of sealing this onto the hood and making it like stick to it. I just want not metal on metal, and I want to kind of make like a makeshift gasket. I'll probably just put a little bead on it so that it's as flat as possible, as there's no gap. But also, the process that I'm thinking about doing with this, I got some big rolls of plastic bags. I'm going to lay it over my motor, and then I'm going to take the painter's tape and tape a whole section on this. Then I'm going to tape plastic on it so that, to minimize dust and stuff from cutting the hood. What I'm going to do then, after I cut the hood, I'm going to leave the tape on. Just once there's a hole and the motor's covered, everything's still covered up, I'm going to spray the whole edge that I cut out with paint so that we don't have bare metal there and it doesn't rust. After that point, I will have already traced out and marked my holes and stuff like that. So then I drill my holes, then essentially flip this over, caulk the bead, take the tape off, put it on, rivet it on. So also this right here is a rivet gun, and it came with a bunch of rivets. I went with black rivets. So the heads of them, when you pull it through, it's still going to be that silver, but with black hardware. So I think it's going to be okay. I don't want to paint them and stuff like that. I don't want to have to worry about, you know, washing the car or doing some stuff for everyday use and the paint starts chipping and stuff and looking weird. So I just went ahead and went with these. Came with the gun. I'll link that in the description below. I'll link all this stuff in the description below. Even this that I got from, where did I get that from? Lowe's, I think. So I'll even lay that in the description. So without further ado, I'm gonna get the plastic and just kind of, those are the steps. That's what I'm about to take. All right, took a lot of patience. I was trying to really line everything up. I want the bottom kind of straight. I measured from here to here and here to here to kind of give me a good point so I can measure across. But I guess I just noticed that it barely dips down here in the center, so those measurements are going to be off. So next, all I did was just kind of did a whole bunch of different angles and eyeball it. So I know that sounds sketchy, but it's the best I got. Then I traced it. I traced the outline that I'm not going to cut, the holes that I need to drill, and then this. I went into my fins. I don't know if you seen me do that. I went right in this gap, and I marked all those. And then I just kind of connected the lines. So at that point, now we're ready to cut. I wrapped the hood, as you can tell. Again, this is more for metal shavings. I don't want a huge mess, plus more the paint, because I'm going to paint that edge. And same thing, I still got it wrapped underneath the hood as well. That way when I expose it, hopefully I don't, you know, I'm going to be mindful of it when I'm cutting. I don't want to go as deep as I can. But then I'll spray the edges, and it shouldn't honestly take more than about 3-5 minutes. Maybe I'll wait 10 minutes to go do something, come back. And then at that point, it's all mounting. So here we go. All right, there we go. Got a little bit of footage in on that. Basically, like you seen, cut it out, clean up the edges. I set it on multiple times, lined up the holes, made sure that, you know, when the vents pop through or when I push the fins down, that you don't really see too much of this edge. I guess you're gonna probably see a little bit, but your eyes won't focus in on that. And then went through and drilled all my holes. And then next is going to be flip this, caulk around the edge, set it on there, pretty much line it up as good as possible, and then rivet. Okay guys, and there you have it. It's the hood vent. Honestly, nerve-wracking at the beginning, but once you get going, no turning back. It's a good reward. I love the way it turned out. Obviously it's got its little flaws, but you know what, that's what adds character to it and shows that I did it by hand right in the garage for less than 15 bucks. So I love it. The way it turned out, couldn't ask for a better job. As far as, you know, water and stuff like that, so when you do get in, I have a cover. I built a cover on the intake a long time ago, so it actually benefits to have that. On days that, like now, it's super sunny out, no rain, I could take that cover off. You'll get a little more noise, a little more airflow, stuff like that. But as far as water and stuff, just don't obviously pour buckets of water on it. You probably wouldn't want to be trapped out in like a tsunami, but as far as the messing up your intake or stuff like that, I don't see it being a big risk. Using the rivets, that actually worked out well. It took me a second to get used to the manual rivet gun instead of a pneumatic one, but that was pretty easy to get used to. After that, I think the caulk did a pretty decent job. There's a part right here with the second skin to the hood from underneath, the skeleton part. I'm thinking either cutting that off, or I even thought about expanding foam, spray that in there and cut it flush, and then maybe hit it with some paint. Not sure. I'll probably just cut it off to get rid of it. But as far as the whole outlook of the whole project, I love it. Let me pop the hood for you. All right, so right here's that cover thing I was talking about. Got my intake right underneath there. Got a screw here, and then I drilled holes and then used the tabs right there. It has a ram that goes in there, so that was the whole thought behind it. And I got a side plate. If you ever follow my Instagram or anything, if you get on it now, it's probably going to be down a little bit farther, but you'll see I built it and what the stuff I used and how I did it. Like I said, just a little screw right here. I got let me show you. Got one of these things, so I'll pull it off and then pop those tabs real quick, throw it in the truck if I want a little more noise or see the filter and stuff like that. But this actually helps a lot for the rain. So right where it shows and it comes down, honestly, only thing you even got to worry about is a little bit of the moisture going down there, but that isn't going to do anything. So that about does it. Any tips, questions, comments, concerns, of course, leave it down in the description below. I really appreciate the support from all you guys. Channel's been doing really good, blowing up. I love it. Been seeming to help a lot of people out with some projects, especially some of the stuff, the fix it yourselves kind of thing, or the repairs. So I'm glad I can help people. With all that, I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Until next time.